wonderful bungie facility again this morning, hauling another load of Plenish beans. It's my fourth one. Been pretty quiet up here. There ain't been many people hauling up here. There's beans coming up, but not as much as I thought. And a lot of them ain't ready yet, I guess. I don't have. After today, I got one more field that's ready, and they're all getting close to being ready. But a friend of mine, or buddy, guy that used to always do my tiling, my ditching for me, I cut his beans and some of his, shelled his corn and cut some of his double crop beans last year. Well, he called me again. He wants me to take his beans off, so probably gonna do that today. I finished up at one field. I ran a rock through the combine again. I don't know how big a one, but it broke one of the feeder house slats. We fixed that, but then broke some of my fingers on. And I think the fingers on the auger got broke. A big wad went through. That's the field I worked. We worked out with a soil finisher, and I need to get rid of that rolling basket because that just throws rocks right on top of the ground. And that had rock. I mean, I went over a bunch of rocks, but when it's dark, when it's at night, when it gets shadowy, you can't see it. You can't see anything. You're blinded in. And I ran one through, and I hate that. I need to put a rock guard on my header, I guess, but I'm gonna probably work some more next year because them beans ran over 60 compared to my no-till ones right next to it. And I think it's just a matter of the ground doesn't dry out as fast, and this helps. That's why everybody runs them vertical tills. But my soil finisher works pretty good, other than you can't go on corn stalks. Well, you can, I guess. So I still got my disc packer, but I'm gonna get another packer and then get rid of that rolling basket. I don't like it. That's why everybody's going to them ones with the combination baskets, but I'm not buying one. They're too expensive. They put the basket in the front or in the packer in the back. It'd be nice to have one of them, but I'm not paying that much. But anyhow, I'm gonna haul this load, and then I'm going to go home and fix that header and get ready to cut his beans today, I guess. Hope that goes all right. Hope we don't have rocks. That combine scoops them up. Well, I don't have and that's the electronic rock trap doesn't work all the time. I turned the sensitivity up again, and it's still, the problem is when you're getting the real heavy, thick beans like them, where it doesn't work as good because it's cushioning them rocks more. Because the first field, it went off 2 or 3 times, and it just detected a little rock, and sure enough, there was a rock on the ground. It spit it out. But in them really thick beans, when you got a real thick mat of beans, I don't think it works as good. I mean, my God, you'd think it would sense some bigger rocks. But, I put new covers on it last year on the rotors. But the rest of the machine eventually is going to need gone through the rotors and everything, so I just hope I didn't damage anything. I don't think I damaged anything else. I'll look at it this morning, but before I rebuild the rest of the machine sometime, I don't know if it'll be next year, but I had a Johnson rock guard on my one header I had on my John Deere. It always worked good. You can see the rocks would just be laying on the cutter bar. But this thing here, I don't know. I've tried adjusting this header. I've adjusted the float, and whatever you call it, the lift on the cutter bar. I don't know where else to adjust. I can adjust it down more, but I almost got it adjusted down to the point where it's dragging the ground on the back. Then it wads up in the front, and I put it up. I raised the header up. I wish the cutter bar was tilted back more. I don't like the way they do that. Then it could go up over rocks and still cut the beans. That's what needs to happen. But yeah, I'll get this load hauled. But I was just up at the steel house, and when I made the way Bungie, every place does it different, but the way Bungie does it is, I'm gonna turn this around. The way Bungie does it is you just go up to the scales and you tell them who it is. ADM. This is for the elevator, and every place does it differently. Some of them have the scan cards, you know, and like Poet has a scan card. You know, with the elevator where I go, you just tell them they know you, they know me. But here, you just at ADM they look at your license plate. Then when you get up there, you walk up to the office and tell them who it is. Well, I started making this. I wrote my name and what it is on a piece of paper and just show it to them, and they just thought, well, that's a great. Why don't more people do this? So I don't know. Tell them and make a poster and tell them that's what you want. I mean, if your name's hard to pronounce, they don't know you. This is so much easier. You know, there's no guessing. Okay, so I've been doing it for a couple of years now. There's a plenty of speed. You got to tell them who you are at the probe and at the scale house. Anyhow, I'm going to get ready to dump here in a little bit, so I'll catch you later. I want to show my ticket here. I got back. I couldn't do it while I was driving, but there's the test. So 11%, 0.6 damage, I don't know what that is, and then FM formatter 0.4. There's all the hyaluronic stuff, the protein, blah, blah, blah. Had 871 on it. I could have probably got the rest of that auger part on there. The boys were loading me, and I just went by what they said, but there's a little bit in the cart. I'll just dump it in the bin. But there she is. And it went well. Say the ladies are happy that I have my little name thing. And it's easier for me too, so there it is. See you later. I wanted to demonstrate I'm dumping right in my drain leg and hopper with the auger cart. It used to be my old cart, but used to sit too low and I couldn't do it, but this works out really good. Well, my old one, when I put the bigger tires on, I could do it. It didn't work as nice as this. This really, I can jump right in here if I want to. Not even on load. Works good. I didn't have much in there. It would have fit in the truck. I should have. That's no big deal though. Open it all the way up. Make sure she cleaned out. Plug it in. Now we're cutting some more beef today finally. The sun finally came out. Got this field to do. The other ones might be ready, I don't know, I gotta go check. Got some leaks hanging off, but they're probably alright. Probably kind of wet but kind of wetting to go to. But I adjusted my header. I want to see where it's cutting at. I want to get the cutter bar off a little bit. Still cutting pretty close to it now. Rock test this one off, and we didn't find no rocks. I guess it's better have that than the rock go through without finding it, but as long as it's not a nuisance thing constantly going off. These beans run, they look good, but the monitor's not saying they're running as good as I think they are. But I don't know, I need to do something with that, calibrate that monitor again. She's a going. I'll go get the auger cart. I'll just add this. I'll call this the third part series to why I like my twin rotor. And I'm going to start out by saying, I'm going to reiterate the fact that I think all rotors are good machines. I'm not dishing John Deere. I'm not dishing any brand. All I'm saying is why I like mine. And most people know nothing about the twin rotors. But like I said before, I know a lot of people that own the other ones. And I've heard their complaints about them. They're great machines. The John Deere's are fantastic machines, I'm sure. I have no idea. And the Case Sages are good machines. But I think they all have their flaws. I think you'd all agree that. And the New Holland has its flaws. The rock trap I don't like. I think they do have a new improved version that instead of that electronic one. But the bottom line is you just need to pick your rocks up. There's some downfalls to the New Holland, I guess. I don't know exactly what they are, but there is some. And you got to adjust them like the other machine. I guess the biggest problem is, parts availability, which parts are not a problem. Their parts are very readily available. It's just around here ain't as many dealers. I guess that's the biggest downfall. But I don't know. I just say that I like it. I'm not dishing any other brand. One of my buddies, it was jokingly, I know, but he showed me a picture of his sample from his John Deere, Tim, and they do a good job if you set them right. And in dry beans, you shouldn't have any pods in your bin. I mean, in dry beans, you should be able to easily blow them out and and thresh the beans out great. But you don't see that in some of these in the elevator. You don't see that. So that's all I'm going to say. I'm just going to conclude this third part series where it's not. I'm not going to. I don't. All brands are fine. I just really like my twin rotor, and I guess the reason I did this is nobody ever talks about them. You go to any farming event or farming around any farm, but that's all they want to talk about is their John Deeres and Internationals. So, and when I tell them I have a New Holland, the first thing they say, well, where do you get parts for it? Well, I don't know. I don't really need that many parts. Move this to the plow. Anyhow, I'm just going to conclude this real shortly, and that's all I'm going to say about it no more. I think all the rotors are good machines. They've been refined enough by now; they ought to be good. But there's a reason why a lot of companies have copied the New Holland. There's a reason why. It's not just one. John Deere's not the only one that's copied them. I think Lexion, one of them has one too. A lot of it's capacity. You can only get so much capacity on one rotor. But I do think they do a better job of cleaning. So anyhow, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy the videos. There he comes. We'll finish this field up. Won't take long. As long as we keep the rocks tripping. They ain't running that great. Well, I'm gonna guess the scales are right in the combine drawing, so I don't know what I gotta do to calibrate that. I got an adjustment you can make on the actual yield sensor, but I don't know if that's it or I just keep playing with it. I've calibrated it a couple times. It's reading a little bit high. Anyhow, I'm gonna haul that load in here. Alright, good morning, welcome to Opie Acres. It's Monday, October 10th. We cut some beans yesterday. I showed the video. I'll tack that on there. I got like 3/4 of a semi. I think I got between 650 and 700 bushel. I'm gonna check my scales again, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put 250 bushel in this grain cart, loading. I'm demonstrating that I can load out of my vertical auger into the cart. So I'm gonna watch my scales and put 250 in there and see if it fills the cart. And whenever I shut it off, I'll subtract that much. I want to see if my scales on my cart are still accurate. So I'm gonna go ahead and start it up. It's gonna be noisy. 39. These beans should be dry, but I had to fan on them for a while. They were 14 anyhow. They weren't really wet. I'm gonna watch the scales. It won't take long. It loads too fast. I should be watching. I should watch my. 2,500 for 3,000 pounds. Yeah, I need 15,000 pounds. That's what I thought, but I didn't want to say it wrong. That's usually what. Remember when I had my old grain truck, it held over 300 bushel. It was always, 20,000 on there. We're up to 5. Let's see. And this thing, the scales, what I noticed was, like Saturday when we cut them beans, 13 acres, it was showing kind of light. I forget the number. I think it was showing 15,000 the first load, and maybe it was 24. I think it's 24,000. But when I moved it to drive it over to dump in the semi, it went up a little bit. So for some reason, when it's sitting still, it ain't always. Once you move it, it kind of, I don't know if it's settled in, or I might have a bad sensor on the tongue. I think that's the tongue load cell might be flaky. I don't know. Once I moved it, I think it was pretty accurate. I know it was light. I knew it seemed light initially. We're up to 8,400 already. So I have 2 minutes. Let's say minutes. Probably going 2.5 minutes so far. And I've already done 100 bushel, 150 bushel. Well, it'll take about 5 minutes to load. And if I put too much in there, I can just leave it in there, or I can dump it right back in the bin with this thing. It's pretty nice. I gotta replace this cylinder on the steering wheel. The gas cylinder's bad, so it won't stay up or down. It won't lock in. The cold weather probably ain't good on either, but they all need replaced. The ones on the hood need replaced, and this I replaced the one door, but they're all just they get old. Up to 11,000. I'm thinking that almost might be enough, but I don't think that's semi. I think it has around 700 bushel on it. The cart said 650 and the combine said 750. So it's somewhere in between there, I think. 12,000. But it's filling fast, so it don't take long. That is nice. That vertical auger They may have their issues, but it is nice to be able to pull underneath there and not load. Not have to drag it on the ground. Well, I make sure I have enough. I don't want to. But it kicked the overloads out on this motor on the starter inside, which is fine. It kicked them both out when it did that because I have them hooked together. I haven't finished. That's a bigger motor than used to be on it, so I need to put a little bit bigger heaters on that one. But it'll be fine once I do that. I mean, the motor's not even warm. Well, it's a little warm. That one there, I don't have heaters on it yet, but it's got an overload protection on the motor. But I want to interlock it so it shuts it off. But that's enough beans. I'll check them heaters out. I may have some. So. Alright, it didn't really change. It was at 15 when I outloaded it. It's right at 15,130. It bounces around a little bit, going down. So let's see what I got, and let's start her up here and see how much I can get in here. Smell back and forth there. Say this should fill it, I don't know. We'll see, it might be right. See which one's right. See how close I am. Getting close. Alright, I shut it off, that's enough. What we got left? Oh, we're almost empty. So, I guess my burnt's right. We'll see. Right, cut a little tough, but we're gonna get our hopper load. I mean, they're not tough, but there's some green ones in there which I don't like. we're stopping because there's a lot of green beans in there. It's threshing them out nice, but they're greener than hell in spot. They're dry green, and when I say green, they're green. So we're gonna have to stop and wait a week probably for these to ripen up. I ain't got nothing. I might switch to corn, but he's gonna take it out home and put it away. Take this cart home, put it in the bin, let it dry.